Can one city's solutions to homelessness help encourage other states to try new methods and policies? King County has one of the highest rates of homelessness in the country, yet author and public health nurse Josephine Ensign believes there are promising solutions at work. And in her new book, Way Home, Journeys Through Homelessness, Ensign, herself homeless at one point, invites us into the lives of homeless and those working tirelessly to help. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Kelly.
Yeah, so you come at this topic, like we just discussed, with a unique perspective because you were homeless at a time as a young adult. So what do you think that most people don't know or understand about being homeless?
I mean, this happened a long time ago when I was a young adult and on the East Coast, not out here in Seattle, but what has had a kind of a lasting impact on me and on my work is how disorienting the whole experience of homelessness can be, how shaming as well, deeply shaming, and how we as a society, as a community, you know, like even here in Seattle, how we can either perpetuate that or we can counteract that in good ways.
Definitely. And in your book, Way Home, you examine the issue through the lens of several people that the system has failed. So in our rush to solve this problem, do you think that we're actually kind of forgetting sometimes about the actual person?
Very much so. Yeah, it's obviously a hot political topic. And I think, unfortunately, not enough people even know somebody who has experienced homelessness, or takes the time to get to know somebody. But also what I highlight in my book is not just when we failed people, but it's also when we have done things as a community that have really helped to support people to make positive changes in their lives. And
that's what I want to talk about too, the successes that you think we've seen here in Seattle.
So one thing that's really important, and this anybody can do, you don't have to go out and devote your life to homelessness issues, but to just recognize people, you just say hi, smile, acknowledge people. Right. It's interesting, being ignored is the worst thing that can happen to any of us. It just really crushes us. So doing that, and then non-judgmental kinds of outreach, but also Housing First. We've been a leader in Housing First, getting people non-judgmental way into housing and then working with them on what they want to do in terms of addictions and any kind of mental health issues that they have. We know it saves lives.
Definitely. And what have you learned through maybe, your own experience, but also through this book that you feel like definitely hasn't worked?
Sweeps.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
The current mayor's real significant increase in sweeps. Nobody likes, including people who are living in encampments outside or in doorways. But just doing the sweeps, doing the clearances, we know that sets people back at least 4 or 5 steps from what they might be doing to work towards stability and sobriety and everything else in their lives. So that criminalizing homelessness actually perpetuates and increases homelessness and suffering in our community.
And do you think first-time homelessness is increasing for older people and women? And is it maybe too simple to say that it's due to, addiction or how expensive it is here? Or do you think, not enough empathy? Is there one piece that you can kind of pinpoint?
Yeah, so when we know that not just in Seattle, but across the country, elderly people becoming homeless for the first time is rapidly increasing, and a lot of that kind of economic factors from the mortgage crisis and everything else, but it makes people especially vulnerable, and obviously women as well.
Yeah, and there are a lot of politics, which we've kind of touched on too, around homelessness. What do you think, though, we can all agree on, and what we can do to all work together?
That having a home matters for any human being. And so, to feel lucky if we have a home that's safe, affordable, and, our loved ones are with us, and to recognize that not everybody has that, and what can we do at an individual and societal level to help people get a home and keep a home.
Yeah, and I guess like you said earlier, just a simple acknowledgement, saying hello goes a long way.
It does. I mean, it sounds trite, but people tell me, and also I experience myself, it's not trite.
Yeah.
So.
And how would you like this book to be used?
So I'd like for it to be used for people who may not know a lot about homelessness in our area or anywhere, to be able to get to know people who have the lived experience of homelessness from their perspective. I use as much as possible their own words of what helped them to become more stable, to even be giving back and doing outreach and leading programs for homeless individuals in our community.
Thank you so much for being here today. And Josephine will share more from her book tonight at Elliott Bay Book Company in Seattle at 7 o'clock.